Hello, Internet! I'm Ellie the Purple Doofus, and welcome to Buddy Reads, where I read a small selection of a book and review it for you. Today we are covering Chapter 2 of Artemis by Andy Weir. I hope you've read up to that point yourself, because I do not want to ruin anything for you. So the main story of this section picks up where the main story left off in the last chapter, with Jazz going to pick up the package from the notification that she had just received. And she goes to visit with a man named Rudy, because he's the one that called for the package pickup. And you find out that Rudy is kind of Dudley Do-Right. He is a space mountie, if you will. He is beating up on this guy who was beating on his wife. And he's got a Western movie idea of justice. So for every bruise and black eye the guy's wife had, Rudy gives him a bruise and black eye. And Jazz is just kind of standing there watching, going, yeah, I think that's, yep, that looks like a bruised rib. And a black eye. Yep, you're gonna have to, yeah. There you go, just beating crap out of him. Yep. Okay then, moving on. She then decides to leave Rudy to his work, but as she is leaving, she gets a notification on her Gizmo. That's what it's actually called. I'm not making up a word. It's called a Gizmo. And the notification screams, fire! Because there's a fire in Artemis. And she is one of the volunteer fire department. She rushes to the fire, and there's this whole explanation of everything that they have to do in order to put out the fire. I won't go into gritty details because I'm sure I'll just mess it all up. Basically, it's a bunch of airlocks and removing the oxygen and taking down the fire by starving it. People that were in the place that was on fire are in small little cubby holes that are like fire safety things. And Jazz and the crew put out the fire. Afterwards, Jazz decides that she really needs a drink. So she goes to this bar known as Hartnell's. Hartnell's is just her kind of place because it's not a pickup joint. It's not a social gathering joint. It's just all about alcohol. And that's it. You don't go there to meet people, you don't go there to talk to people, you don't go there to wax your personal feelings on the bartender, you just go there to drink. So she goes there, and in her internal monologue, she's having all of these thoughts like, oh, my life is just crap, and I just want to make more money for some odd reason. She has a very specific number for the amount of money that she wants to make, but she doesn't actually tell us what it's for. And that's a little irritating. She's also thinking about Zafas? This word that I don't remember popping up in the first chapter. So if you've read the first chapter and you remember what this word is, please tell me, because I don't remember it popping up at all. And then she's talking with the bartender, and the bartender's like, would you like to try some scotch? And she's like, you have scotch? Yes! Now! Please! He pours her some scotch and she drinks it. She's like, that is just awful. I have tasted better things that have come out of people. And he's like, I'm so sorry. I have offended you. While she's sitting there telling him how awful his scotch is, she gets another notification on her Gizmo. It's basically a text from Tron. And he's saying, can you come visit me? I really need to talk to you. Please come visit me. Please come now. Please, 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 please. And she says, right now I'm kind of drinking. And he's like, please, 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 please. He's like, fine. She taps out of the bar early and goes off. And she goes to Tron's place, and there's a woman that he lives with, and what are you here for? And she's like, I'm Jasmine. I'm Jazz. I'm the person that's here almost every day to drop off contraband to your boyfriend. Would you please let me in? I don't understand why we keep on having to do this with each other. And she's just like, Jazz walks in, and there is Tron in his robe, very Hugh Hefner-like. And there is another woman named Fidelis. And, well, Fidelis is kind of the queen of Artemis. She's the reason that Artemis exists. And so when Jazz sees her, she's just like, power. Pretty lady. I don't know how to talk. To her surprise, Fidelis remembers her. She's like, I know you. I remember you, and you were just this tall. Jess is like, you're a powerful rich person. Fidelis is just like, it was a pleasure to meet you. And she goes off on her way. Jazz goes up to Tron, and she's like, all right, speak. How do you know her? What's going on? And he's like, I'm rich. And she's like, oh, right. Okay. And Tron sits her down at the table, and they have this conversation, and Tron is like, I want to monopolize oxygen. What? Yeah, he pretty much just says, I want to have complete control of oxygen distribution in Artemis, and you're gonna help me do it. And she's like, what do you mean? And she's like, there's a factory that mines oxygen and creates oxygen from their mining. I have a surplus of oxygen, and all I really need you to do is sabotage that factory. Jazz is sitting there like, I don't know. What if I get caught? What if someone catches me doing this? Tron is like, Jazz who? I don't know any Jazz. Jazz is just a... Jazz is like, really? Okay. Yeah, I'm out! Tron is like, I'll give you 1,000,000 credits. Well, slugs. I'll give you 1,000,000 slugs. And Jazz sits back down and she's like, keep talking. Yeah, that's pretty much where the main story ends. And then we have some more letters from Kelvin to Jazz and Jazz to Kelvin. I didn't really like how this section jumped. In the last letter section, it was just kids. And in this section, it's high schoolers. And she's talking about, hey, did you ask that girl out yet? He's like, no. And she's like, you really should. And she's giving him advice on women. And he's like, okay, thanks, I'll try. And I'm just kind of like, oh, it was such a brilliant thing. But this is just, no. Oh, bummer. So far, I'm still loving this book, even though it's turned into a sci-fi heist type thing. Actually, because it turned into a sci-fi heist, it's become even better to me, because I love heist movies. This is just holy hell yes. We'll see how I continue to like it in other sections. Also, tomorrow we will be doing both chapters 3 and 4, so be prepared for that. If you like what I'm doing, go ahead and click the subscribe button. If you like this video specifically, go ahead and click that like button, and go ahead and leave a comment letting me know how you feel when stories jump time like that. Does it disturb you as much as it disturbs me? I've been Alex the Purple Art Doofus. This has been Buddy Reads, reminding you to watch your pajama radius, and I will see you all in the next section of Artemis by Andy Weir. Toodles!